looking at a Australian delivered KTM Freeride E-XC. Build date is 2015, officially released in 2019. I purchased this in early 2020, a little over a year ago. The dealership said there's only about 20 in Australia. I purchased it with under 100 Ks on it and now put well over 1,000 on it. This bike is 100% ADR compliant and has full Queensland rego. The official specs are: it's a permanent magnet synchronous motor. Its ratio is 1:2.4, water cooled, 16 kilowatt, 21 horsepower, max RPM 6,600 RPM, produces 42 Newton meters of torque. Secondary gear ratio is 11:48 from the jack drive, which I'll show you on the bike in a sec. This version of the bike, the E-XC, weighs in at 110 kilos with the battery pack. Battery pack's a lithium ion air-cooled unit. My small battery pack's actually 2.59 kilowatt hours. And I also have a 3.88 kilowatt hour pack. The bike starts up like any other bike. Has a nice battery gauge here with a little startup sequence. Never touch your throttle or have the charger in or it'll brick. Press start and we're in power mode 3. It's good for normal riding. Very easy to change to mode 1 or 2, which is good for people to learn, or little kids. For everybody else, it's normally on power mode 3. To access your batteries, little tab here, lift your seat up, super easy, hinged nicely. Got your accessory battery here. Got your main battery here. Very easy to remove. 4 screws, 2 at the back, 2 at the front. I'll show you how easy it is to remove and swap. This is what it looks like with the battery removed. Speed controller down there. Make sure you have one of these terminal caps. There's a part number for you. Goes over here. Also inspect that O-ring's in good condition. Very important part of your bike. Make sure you don't cook anything. There are the radiators. Rear shock. Here's a shot of the charger and the battery packs out of the bike. This is my OG pack. 2.59 kilowatt hours. This is my newer, larger pack, 3.88 kilowatt hours. This is the charger. Fast, normal, and storage modes. Tells you how it's charging. This is the on switch. Also got a built-in safety switch, which is pretty good. 30 milliamp, a little test switch. This battery charge is great. It's a 3 kilowatt unit, and some real world charge times vary between 30 and 45 minutes depending on how discharged the battery was and how fast you charge it. But this by far is more than a decent sized charger for these batteries. This bike is designed for riders 75 to 85 kilos and easy riding. I found the front suspension way understrung and bottoming out when riding hard off-road. Shout out to my mate David Head, who dialed in the front suspension significantly better than standard. He chucked in some higher rate springs, which required some machining and some heavier oil, and it now feels great. The bike can be pushed to its limit and gives much better confidence. Also, my mates that have a few extra kilos on me really enjoy the bike now, and they also give back some really good feedback on the improvements on the front suspension. The power delivery of this motor is so smooth, making extremely hard hill climbs much easier. As for controls, you just got 2 foot pegs down there to stand on, rear brake and a front brake. Makes it really easy to ride. Less controls, you can focus on riding harder. No gear changing and no clutch, make it super easy to ride. Brakes, they're not too bad. They're not Brembos, that's for sure. Rear brake, it does the job, but on some really hard mountains and high load, you do get a little bit of brake fade. Here's a quick shot of the service schedule. So some real world range numbers for the 2 battery packs on this bike. Riding off-road, single line tracks, hill climbs, in the mountains is about 10 k's on the small pack and 20 on the big pack, and that's discharging them to about 20 to 30%. You can obviously push a little bit harder, but it depends on how long you want your batteries to last. And I got 2 so I can hot swap them easy. This bike's perfectly suited to ride in suburbia, especially if you have a little motor track in your backyard. You can have hours of fun, silent, no issues with your neighbour. And then it's also quite capable off-road in the harder tracks, hill climbs, single lines. Yeah, I think this bike's great. I haven't had to do many mods to this bike. I just slept on some 300 E-XC bike busters, some bar ends. These are Freeride SX guards or number plate holders just to stop you getting mud caked. Just modified the number plate holder or deleted it and chucked in some click and rides to keep all the pigs happy. So what are my final thoughts on this bike? Well, it's the only bike in its category. It's an electric enduro registered bike in my country. Not even properly released yet. Come on KTM, don't be scared. Heaps of people love this bike. I get excellent feedback. Everyone wants to get into it. The electrical package on this bike is rock solid, very well built. Hot swappable battery packs are great. It's got a massive charger, plenty of power, plenty of torque, really easy to ride. As for the chassis, yeah, it's entry level. This is the first electric bike KTM's made that can be registered. I'm pretty sure some excellent bikes are going to come out in the near future. I hope you got some useful info out of this video. When my rear tyre wears down a little bit more, I'll chuck it on the dyno and do some power comparisons on the 3 different maps. I think it's about time I run my dogs with my bike. Thanks for watching. See you later.